Hello guys, it's Michael here. It's been a while. Lots kind of happened to Phil. He's fallen foul of the tax man. Uh, Long story short, he declared some things that he shouldn't have and has tried to presumably write off some business expenses that he is now being told to pay back. Uh, Phil's got a blog on this, and if you want to check it out, there's condensed versions from David Davidson, Burnell, Mr. Hoof, etc. If you want the full version, obviously it's in Phil's King of Hate Vlogs channel as well. If you feel like listening to a fat guy ramble on about how it isn't his fault, even though it is, because that's how sole proprietors, that's how sole proprietors work. It's on your shoulders. You make the decisions, and if they bounce back to you, that's on you. And the Washington State Tax Department has decided that's how it's going to rule. Long and the short of it is, Phil has a modest tax bill, originally of a few $1,000s, which could rise due to fees, interest, and such. And he's already set up a payment plan, so he's already admitted fault in the eyes of the law. Obviously not in the eyes of his adoring public, because according to him he's done nothing wrong, even though he mentions in the vlog that he stuck with the tax advisor person that he had that he had in Connecticut, which, you know, Connecticut law and Washington tax law are very different things. Washington doesn't have an income tax system, for starters, which is probably the whole reason why he jumped there in the first place. In short, Phil didn't do his due diligence, and he has 3 years worth of unpaid taxes to repay back. And by repay back, he means his fans. Helps if I get the right window. There. Once again, Eddie B43, and also I'll mention Soap Queen 1 on KB Farms as well. Two of the more prolific people that look at his income and his outcome. And as we can see, since the 2 days that Phil has let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, Phil has so far in this month on Twitch alone made over $4,000, and $1,500 of it has come from those 2 days, because he has 6 fans that don't want this car crash to end. And unfortunately, stuff like that kind of just validates Phil's narrative that he's like not at fault ever, even though there is a tax department that clearly, you know, says that he is. Not only that, but he has kind of skirted into tax evasion quite a bit there, especially in the whole months following, where he basically decided to say, oh, it's not a business, guys. Who are you telling that to? You're telling that to a public forum, which means at some point you're telling it to a taxman. Oh dear. His gaming expenses, which I'm kind of originally was going to be here to talk about before this tax thing kicked off. So I did the research, and by research I mean I just went through his playlists, saw what he played this year, stuck the recommended retail price on it, because Phil tends to buy everything digitally, so it's usually $60 or bust. Obviously retro games like Spyro and such, they are cheaper, but also what makes this year slightly different is he's bought a new console, the Nintendo Switch, $400. he immediately broke it, sent it back, and then bought it again. I don't quite buy the idea that an anonymous fan donated it to him, much like how an anonymous fan will donate to his Patreon at the last minute to bolster that goal amount. And as you can see here, I've taken all the stuff to the end of November, so it's not a full year's picture, but I've managed to get a monthly average out with that of $277 per month. I've also included things like these headphones that he's just purchased because he's broken his headphones. So the one thing I haven't really got a handle on is things like hardware, things like that Phil he replaces, because I'm sure at some point he replaced his PS4 because it was having the eject issue. So that would have been another, what, $300? I don't know whether he did that this year. I'm guessing probably. And I've thrown his Halloween costume in there as well. There was 2 prices for that, and I went with the lowest one because Phil. And that's kind of it, really. I mean, $3,000 a year. Granted, well, Phil would have assumed at that point that it was a spend that he could write back, charge back to the taxman. Also, you can kind of see it as a justifiable spend anyway because of how he makes his income. It's all through video games. You could argue his DSP tries it, or whatever products he buys for that is a justifiable spend because he's going to make a video of it and he's going to make income off it.